IPO. A very good morning to you, James. It is great to have a chance to speak to you. I want to start our discussion with the latest headlines that were announced just a couple days ago with the launch of the Gen 7 robo-taxis going into mass production, as well as the road testing that is set to begin. Talk us through this latest milestone for the company.
Yes, great. It's great to be here, Emily. So the Gen 7 is the latest generation of our autonomous driving vehicles that we actually launched in Shanghai. Compared with the previous generation, it has the highlights is all the components are automotive grade. The total cost is 1/3 of the previous generation. So I think this is the version that we were about to mass produce. So the latest progress on the latest generation is that we cooperated closely with Beijing Auto and Guangzhou Auto to launch two versions of this latest generation. They're exactly same setup on two different vehicles. The first batch of those vehicles, more than 100, were already rolled off our assembly line, and we obtained licenses for testing in Guangzhou and Shenzhen and in Beijing. So those vehicles are gradually will be produced from our assembly line and will be added to our fleet. So compared with, of course, previous generation, it's much cheaper, it's more integrated, and we'll see the economic value on those vehicles will also be much better than the previous generation.
Can you share with us this mass production that has begun together with your target for 1,000 vehicles, robo-taxis on the road by 2025? How many do you have on the road now, and to get to 1,000? Just kind of talk us through that a little bit.
Yes. With all the previous generation, we had about 250 vehicles, 200-ish, because we actually retired some of those earlier generation. And for the Gen 7, we have already produced them for more than 100. And because it took a while to retool our assembly line with the OEMs. And once the assembly line now is ready, we start producing them. The first batch of 100 strong have already been produced. And now we're going to just continue producing them. And by the end of the year, it will be more than 1,000.
All right, so we'll, of course, get an update from you if you're able to hit that target. Now, many headlines coming through in the autonomous driving space. You guys are launching a robo-taxi service in Dubai. That's together with the Roads and Transport Authority. You're looking at unmanned commercial operations as early as next year. Why did you pick Dubai?
We are definitely exploring all the other possibilities across the global market, because we do see that the mobility demand across the globe is the same and very strong. Dubai turns out to be one of the very friendly government with push for supporting autonomous driving. Also, I think in the Emirates, the demand for shared mobility is also strong. So I think with the government support, with a strong demand from the users, that has turned out to be a very good market for us to be launched the robotaxi fleet. Of course, we're not just looking at Dubai. We're launching a fleet in Luxembourg. We're launching a fleet in South Korea, and we're looking at some other markets as well.
And how soon do you expect those to be commercially viable?
I think, well, each market is really different depending on how progressive the local regulations will be. But I think we will see some of the markets be commercial viable in a year or so. Some of the markets may take a little bit more time, but I think it's always good to be there early, to have to gain some close collaboration with the local players and with the local government. Those are really building a strong foundation for commercial applications.
So you're already on the road in China. You now have exposure in the Dubai market, Luxembourg, South Korea, Singapore. What other countries, what other cities do you have your eyes on?
I think in general, the criteria for, as I already mentioned, is with strong government support, with good local partners that are willing to help and to work with us, and with strong demand. So I think across the globe, a lot of markets, many of the cities in Europe, like Southeast Asia, definitely Japan, Korea. I think those, of course, GCC, the Middle East area, are definitely very much ripe for launching the autonomous driving.
Now, it's important, you said, to have partners, and one partnership is that with Uber. Can you tell us, in terms of entering which markets, and in the United States, do you expect to be tapping on this Uber partnership to be entering the U.S. market on the road, I mean?
No, I think a strong, important partner for autonomous driving is definitely the ride-hailing platform, because those are the gateway to the users, and also the ride-hailing applications have extensive experience on managing large fleets. Uber definitely is a good partner to have on really to have large-scale deployment of autonomous driving fleet. Some of the markets we are working with Uber are in the Middle East. We're exploring potentially collaboration in Europe, but definitely nothing set to stone yet.
What about your operations in the United States? Are you able to share what you guys are doing there? And, of course, with all that's going on geopolitically, what kind of risks are you anticipating for the U.S. market?
For the U.S. market, currently we still, I mean, Pony actually was founded in the U.S., so we still have a operation in the U.S., still have an office, but the office currently mainly on the R&D purposes, and we currently, at least, we don't have a plan to launch large-scale commercial operations in the U.S. yet.
Would your U.S. operations be open for a sale? I'm seeing a report in the New York Times that Uber and Kalanick could be potentially interested in buying Pony AI's U.S. operations.
No, I think U.S. is still a very integral part of our office, the whole company. I think everything's possible. Depends on what's good for the company and what's good for our shareholders. But I think the mobility demand across the global is the same. So we're definitely exploring and weighing in different options for our operations in different geo markets.
I'm just going to push this a little bit more. So you are open to selling your U.S. operations?
I wouldn't say we're open, but if it's a possibility, we might consider.
All right. We've been seeing here in the Hong Kong market huge activity in IPO space. Would Pony AI be open to fundraising and a secondary listing, or even a primary listing in the Hong Kong market?
I think the Hong Kong market is very much alive this year, and it's a booming market. Again, I think it's nothing set to stone yet, but we are exploring the possibilities, because we do see there's a close proximity to our home market, and a lot of the investors would like to have the access to a market that close to our home base. So I think it's a possibility. Again, nothing to stone. As a corporation, we have to constantly, actively exploring different probabilities and options. So again, it's nothing set to stone, but it's something we're considering.
James,